Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Carol Moulton coming to you once again. New year, new everything, hopefully. We woke up to, I think, more of the same from 2021, which was not a great year for many of us, I think. We lost loved ones. We're shuttered inside with people we don't necessarily want to be shuttered inside with. But it was a time for us to discover some things about ourselves as individuals, as family members, and as a nation. So, welcome back. Haven't been with you in a minute. I've missed you tremendously. Hope everything is doing well on your end of the planet. I'm just coming on to give you a brief word. The Lord dropped something in my spirit the other day, and I thought I would share it with you. This is January 2022, New Year, and our thoughts generally turn to making resolutions. Deciding I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to stop doing this, I'm going to, stop spending all my money, whatever your resolution is. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I'm going to, go to the gym every day. All these things that by February we have kind of forgotten. So, what he showed me is if we want to make improvement, if we want to make changes in our lives, and I think being shuttered in gave us an opportunity to do some self-assessments and to start looking at things a little bit more closely. And if you want to see changes in your life and improvements, I've got a suggestion for you. I've got something that I think may work for you. I've been doing it the past couple of days, and it's working out very well. But what it is, okay, I'm not gonna play hide the ball or anything. I'm gonna tell you straight out because we're not gonna talk long. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna drop this on you and then let you go about your day. Basically, it's 22 and 22. He's given me 22 areas of your life where you can make changes in 22 minutes or less. But 22 was sort of the baseline. And I was like, well, that's intriguing, what are the 22? So I'm not going to talk. This is going to be a part one. I'll do a part two next week. So we'll see how far we get. But number one, finances. I'm going to just give you the list and see if any of these connect with you, if you like any of them. Number one is finances. We start thinking at the beginning of the year about making more money or getting more money or, whatever. Hopefully they're all legal, not, I'm not, recommending that anybody go out and do anything illegal. But before you talk about more, why not do an assessment of where you are? And are you really tracking where your money is going? I did it and found that I had all these subscriptions that I don't use. I've got stuff that I can cut out, and I have found probably over $500 or $600 that I can put back into my pocket just by assessing what I already have, the outflow. So before you start talking about more, see if you can get more just by streamlining what you're doing. If you cut back on the Starbucks every day, if you cut back on, the fast food and the delivery food, that gets expensive. Even when they say, a low delivery fee, they get you with, some other fee. So you still end up paying, $10 or whatever just to have food delivered to you. So, with respect to your finances, before you start thinking about more, first step, and you can do this in 22 minutes, take a bank statement and start looking at where money is coming out automatically. Another way to do it is to walk around with a notebook for the rest of this month, and everything that you spend, every time you spend something, write it down in the notebook. And I think you'll be surprised at how much you spend kind of without thinking. Another big one that'll get you is places like dollar stores, where you think, oh, it's so incredibly cheap, but you can end up spending a lot of money in the dollar store because it's just a dollar, it's just a dollar, it's just a dollar. Actually, there's not going to be a dollar anymore. I heard that they're going up. So it'll be something like $1.29 for each thing or something like that. But that's another place to look. Just really start taking your financial temperature and see where your money is actually going, where you're really spending your money. And it's about becoming more intentional with your finances. We don't have to be, it's like we don't have to just spend money blindly. We can be much more intentional with the way we spend and what we choose to spend our money on. There's some companies that I will not buy from because of the people that they support, period. But anyway, I'm not going to get political. I'm just going to give you 22 in 22 areas that you can make improvement in your life 22 in 22 minutes. So, and it really is about being more intentional. Okay, so exercise, this number 2, is another big one where we say we're going to go to the gym every day, or we're going to, work out for an hour every day. And you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. So let's be intentional about this. Let's look at this a different way. Can you exercise for 22 minutes? Can you walk for 22 minutes? Can you walk for 10 and then another 12? Can you, if you don't want to do it all at one time, breaking it up. It's about moving, there are a lot, if you don't want to go outside, because I know it's cold in some parts of the country and I'm not going out, So rather than, if it's something you're not going to do, you've been paying for a gym membership and you're not going, you say you're going to do things and you're not. So what about changing the way you look at it and setting an intention that when I get up, I'm going to exercise before I, have coffee, or before I start my day. I'm going to, after I, say my prayers, whatever your morning, habit is, you exercise for, 5 minutes. I mean, you can do jumping jacks or walk or stretch, or yoga poses. You can do something, set the timer, and just get in the habit of doing that. 22 minutes is really nothing. So instead of making these big promises, if you break them down into smaller chunks, they're much easier to accomplish. So personally, I don't like to exercise. I really don't. I don't like to sweat. But I have found that, 22 minutes makes a big difference. And I also joined an online coaching class, and it's fabulous. It's exercise, and she keeps it really, really interesting. So I joined it for 6 months, and it's every day. And sometimes the exercise is twice a day. But she posts videos that we go along with. There's no shaming. There's no, there's diet, and it's really grown into a community of women that are really supporting each other. If you inbox me, I'll give you more details about it. But it's really, really, really fabulous. It's really good. I found it to be very helpful, and I can see the changes already. Because she has us taking pictures every week to record our progress. So that was number 2. So finances number 1, 22 and 22. Exercise number 2. Number 3 is spirituality. So I've been talking to people, I'm a coach, and what I'm hearing from people is a desire to have a deeper relationship with God, but having feelings of anxiety about it. Underneath of it all, it's like, am I doing it right? Or I fell away and I don't know if I'll be forgiven, or I haven't done what I should. But long story short, everything seems to revolve around performance. Feeling that you're separated from God because of something you have or have not done. Haven't gone to church, haven't read your Bible every day, haven't prayed, the way you should. All these things have to do with performance. But my question for you is, do you think God is really concerned about performance, or is he concerned more about the state of your heart and your desire to have a relationship with him? So my suggestion, 22 in 22, is to spend 22 minutes at whatever time of the day. For some folks, for me personally, I like to start off the day with 22 minutes in meditation or journaling, and it sort of sets the parameters. It sets the day. It's good to set your intention before you jump up and rush around and, jump in the shower, get kids ready, gotta run, gotta do, da 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 da. Just spend 22 minutes in gratitude, that he woke you up this morning. And he didn't have to. A friend of mine this week passed away in his sleep. So we don't know the minute or the hour when we'll get called home. And so spending time in gratitude for what you already have, for what he's already done, is so precious and so important. And it makes things so much easier. It makes you an easier person to deal with, because, everything is not always the other person's fault. Sometimes it's us. And it gives you a nice baseline for starting the day. So spirituality is number 3. If you want to spend 22 minutes in the Bible or 22 minutes in meditation, there are some really good apps that give guided meditation or music. If that's something you like. I use an app called Aura, Aura, but there are other ones out there that are also very good. There may be some free ones I pay for, and it's not very expensive. But I pay and I use it. So that's going back to finances for a second. Whatever you're going to pay for, make sure it's something that you're actually going to use, that it's not just sitting in your closet or in a drawer somewhere. Number 1, 2, 3, where are we? 4 is relationships. And it's a good time. It's a good time to start looking at your relationships, not just your intimate ones, with a spouse or partner, but also your relationships with yourself, your relationship with in your business or on your job, all of those places, and look at, how are you showing up in them? Are you showing up, kind of grumpy and like, mad at the world, or are you showing up as a kind person? Are you showing up out of the overflow of love that you already have? This world is really, really difficult right now. And I really, first of all, just really want to give a shout out to all of the medical professionals, whether you're an LPN or RN or MD, whatever you are. I just want to give a shout out and a thank you for you continuing to work in the face of this madness. You got to deal with just so many people every day, and I don't think that we are acknowledging the sacrifice that they are making enough. So back to relationships. I digressed for a second, sorry. Relationships are important. So what kind of time, what kind of intention. So if you want to improve, let's say with your children, instead of treating them as, okay, I got to do this for them, I got to feed them, I got to do this, make it a rule in your house that nobody comes to the table. This is you, dad, mom, everybody, kids, everybody. Nobody comes to the table with their phone or iPad or whatever. I think the most heartbreaking thing I see is when I'm in a restaurant and I see everybody on their phone. I'm like, what was the point? Y'all could stay at home to do this and just order it in. What's the point? So I think we're losing connection with our families and with ourselves because we're connected to devices and not to each other. Ooh, that was good. That'll preach. Wow. Thank you, Lord, for that one. We're connected to devices, but not to each other. So, 22 minutes. That's about the time it takes to eat dinner. Make it a rule that we sit down. If you can't do it every day, at least once a week. Everybody sits down together and you talk, and you're concerned about each other and you find out how things are going. You'd be amazed at the things that your children can talk about and tell you about, and you have no idea what's going on in their lives if you don't ask. So it's about connecting or reconnecting, and relationships are so important, and it's time to take a step back, pause, and check in with your loved ones. This is going to be the last one for today. This is number 5. We're only going to do 5 today. Diet. And that's usually the big one that everybody talks about. I'm going on a diet. I'm going on a diet, first of the year. I'm not going to eat any more sweets. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. So, this is 22 and 22. So, how can we improve our diet? Well, okay, this is part of the taking inventory. So, what do you normally eat? I know sometimes you get caught up and you got to do things just, fast and dirty. That's a bad metaphor, but, stick with me. You just got to get it done. So, how about being more intentional about diet? If you have the means and you want to make changes, say you want to go to a plant-based diet and you need some help, you don't know where to get started. Okay, here's some suggestions. Pinterest, which is a free app, is a great place to search for recipes. I have found some really good ones. YouTube, free. You can find great recipes, there are just all kinds of ways. You can, if you want to buy a book, is Kindle, and that'll give you all kinds of suggestions for books. You can, preview them and decide which ones look good. I made some changes to my diet this year, and for the most part, I'm not going to say I've been 100%, but I'd say 95% as of the end of last year stopped eating meat and dairy. Had a hard time saying goodbye to butter because I really like butter. But I noticed if I do eat it, I notice the difference in how I feel. And I ate some meat over the Christmas holiday, and it felt like lead in my stomach. So it didn't make me sick, but I definitely noticed the difference. So I eat basically grains, fruits, vegetables. I made some curry last night. That was, oh my God, it was so wonderful. And I think it does something to your taste buds too, because you taste flavors a lot more. Things are more tasteful when they're not dulled by some of the things that we routinely eat. So it's about being intentional with your diet. Being more aware of the amount of sodium that's hidden in packaged products. One of the things that I've had to look at, even in the non-meat things, some of the processed foods, like the burgers that are pre-made, that kind of thing, they taste great. Um, but a lot of them have things in them that you don't necessarily want to eat. So it's about being intentional with your diet. I'm not saying go on a diet. I'm not saying, make a promise to lose X amount of weight, but be more intentional with how you treat your body and what you're putting inside your body. And, the benefits are astronomical. You look better, you sleep better, the weight will come off. I've been able to lose, I'd say about 20, a good 20 pounds since I started, and without really trying, but this just kind of happened. I haven't been like, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds. I decided I wanted to be healthier, and that's a good place to start, just making the decision to be healthy. So, bottom line, this is the year I'm declaring to fall in love with you. To treat you as if you matter, because you do. To make yourself a priority. Particularly we as women, have a tendency to put everybody else first. But this is the year of you, where you decide you want to, whatever it is you want to work on, whether it's your body, whether it's your relationship with God, whether it's your relationship with your significant other or your children, whether it's your finances, whatever it is, you're going to make you a priority in all of those things. And, so we've covered 5 things at 22 and 22, and next week we'll go over the next however many until we get to 22. But in each of these things, you can make changes, significant changes that will change your life, and by doing them in 22 minutes. So with that, just know I love you. I care about you. I'm praying for you, and want to see you really blossom in this new year. So, feel free to reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. You reach out and touch. I would love to hear from you. You can go to my page, Tea Time with Carol, or you can go to my personal page and send me a message, and I would be glad to connect and talk more about these things and how you can incorporate them in your life and make changes that will last, changes for the long haul in a very short amount of time. So, beloved, with that, we're going to end for today. I hope this has been useful, and I'd really like to hear back from you, especially if you incorporate any of these things and you start to see changes. So let me know, reach out. And with that, we are going to end for the day. Just know that God loves you. I love you. You matter. You are important. And don't let anybody tell you differently. So just remember, everything you want is on the other side of fear. This is Carol Moulton, thanking you for spending this time with me. And until next time, be blessed. Take care. See you on the flip side. Bye-bye.